Hi, everyone. We're back.
We're back.
It's all three of us for the first time in a month
Oh my God.
because Ben missed last week. We didn't do an episode 2 weeks ago. I missed 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
How you fellas doing?
Good. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah,
I've missed us.
Ben is back. He's excited for the movie we're talking about today.
I'm
Um,
here.
He,
Benny's dad is
Max,
here.
before you hopped on, he was talking my ear off about it. So
I
he's gonna
bet.
have a lot of thoughts.
Oh man,
Um,
I do actually.
before we get into Toy Story 5, as promised from the end of last week's episode, we do have something to address.
Uh-oh.
Um, we said we would be talking about Spider Noir tonight.
Yeah.
We're we're we failed, but we are the unqualified
We
film bros, not TV bros. So we are unqualified to talk about Spider Noir tonight. However, we will be talking about it next week. And I know we said that last week, but trust us this time.
this time
Next
for real.
week, Next week we are doubling up. It's two superhero projects. It makes sense to do Spider Noir next week. I don't know why we were thinking about doing it this week, but yes, next week. And I'll even
It
give
would have
you
been a
a.
weird combo, but
It would have
yeah,
been, you know
And
what?
next
I think
week is super
I
we would
over.
have
think
made it work.
I have been able to do segues between two different projects before. I think I would have made it work. Just saying. Um,
I think between Disclosure Day and Spider Noir would have been also an interesting combination if
Yeah,
we planned for last
yeah.
week. Yeah.
it all works
Um,
out.
but we will not be doing some sort of fancy schmancy, fun wordplay, interesting member of the crew working on both projects segue from Toy Story 5 into Spider Noir tonight. We are coming at you with our review of Toy Story 5. I literally just walked out of the theater half an hour ago from seeing this movie, but since it's so fresh for me, I will hold on my thoughts and I will defer to you two. So, gentlemen, Pixar's second of the year. What you guys think?
Why'd you turn it to Donald Trump there? What happened?
We want to know what you think. Quite frankly, we
Oh
think
God.
other than the Toy Story movies so far, they've done five of them. We want to see six.
God, you're getting better at it. It's scary.
Yeah, I know. I know. Stay
Uh-huh.
tuned this weekend for a new impressions video on my TikTok.
Um, yeah, I mean, look, so this is the most expensive animated film ever, and it looks good. Looks like Toy Story,
Yeah,
but like my issue is it still looks like Toy Story, the thing that started Pixar. Or at least I think it's the first movie they did, right?
it was their first feature.
Yeah.
They had done shorts in the late 80s and early 90s.
So 30 years later, you're still doing the same style. I mean, that's not what Pixar, that's not why I fell in love with Pixar. It's like a few sequels, fine. And it's not like there's still some heart in it, but the plot, I don't know, man. The iPad, come on.
If
Something
I'm being
about
honest, the fourth one
hearing
felt thinner in plot.
the fourth
The
one
fourth
would,
one I did not like at all.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
this one is better, but it's still
yeah.
like it's
it
lacking
just
soul.
it felt wrong hearing Woody, Buzz, and Jesse talk about tech and screens.
It's weird. It's really weird.
It's
Uncomfortable.
it's jarring.
And that's the thing is like I don't just do something else. I mean, there's not a reason for this to be Toy Story. You know what I mean? There
You
are
want to
ways,
do a tech movie, don't put it in this story.
yeah, it just there's no reason why an iPad should be one of the toys. It's stupid. I don't want to feel for an iPad. I like feeling for toys. iPads should be crushed. I don't care. I don't give a shit. But like I think that's the part that really I could not get into. It's like the plot for me was just so shallow because I don't care. I mean, I care about, I guess, Bonnie, right? That's what we're supposed to care about, but the iPad is like the villain and then the redeemable villain. I don't know. It's an iPad. I don't know why we have an iPad. I get it, screens are a big thing, but I don't think that's what Toy Story's about. Or was about. Now it's about it, I guess. But I
Yeah, it felt
think
like they took like the
lost.
lowest hanging fruit here, where
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, we can make an iPad the bad guy of this film, because like that's kind of what's the hot topic in parenting right now. And that's how they sort of got their intro into like, making it relevant, I guess, for 2026. But it's cheap. And if I'm being honest, it felt a lot like Inside Out 2, um, where you have this like outside force that is basically anxiety, um, in both cases. Um,
In one case, literally.
and Inside Out 2 did it better. Like it just did. It really did. And
I will say this
I,
though, I enjoyed this movie more than Inside Out 2.
I don't
If
know.
I
I'm the
don't
odd one
know. I
out, if
haven't
I'm the odd
seen
one out here,
I
as I
haven't
usually
I,
am,
I haven't
I
seen
will.
Inside Out 2 in a while, but I do love those movies. I really do. But
Yeah.
they also felt like
I don't think
less
it's
cheap
all.
than a forquel, you know? Like this is the fourth one that they made after and we had a perfect trilogy. And I think it is a testament to how good these movies are that, as bad as four might have been, it's still a good movie. Five is still a good movie, but they just aren't necessary. And I think that's what our main problem is that Pixar is not, they're not built to do sequel after sequel after sequel. It's about the innovation, it's about the animation and sort of the storytelling that they're capable of putting to screen that we know that they're capable of. And this is just not up to the same par.
And based on the
I
track record, I'd say like sequels, you could do up to two. Three's pushing it. Maybe some. Like I think Toy Story 3 is good, but you had what, 15 years between that and Toy Story 2? And
Long time.
11.
Yeah.
it fit the story because Andy's going to college. It's been that long.
And like that's great.
But to just like add on Toy Story 4 and now 5, it's too much. It does, there's no point to it anymore.
The story in the original film was about getting back to Andy. It was very Andy centric. The second movie was also very Andy centric about getting Woody back and foregoing this eternity of admiration in a museum to come back to where he's best as Andy's toy. The third movie is about reckoning with Andy growing up. As soon as we move past Andy, the movies lose something.
Well,
They
yeah,
they
I also think it's
they
a perfect send-off, right? Like the third movie is like Andy's gone, and they're learning to reckon with Andy's gone.
Yep.
End on that note, and to like end on, this happy new adventure. You can use your creativity, things like
Like,
that.
are you
Why
kidding
not
me?
this
It's
back?
perfect.
Like
and you can
why?
just imagine what happens in their
Yeah,
future with Bonnie.
use this. We could use our brains.
And you know we're gonna get a sixth one.
No, no, don't say that. I know what's gonna happen, but again, this is the most expensive animated movie in history. And for Pixar to have done it on Toy Story 5 that looks like, a slightly better version of Toy Story 1, I don't know.
But
That's just, that's not it.
to me, and we've seen all the discourse about the animation for the new Shrek movie that's coming out next year and how they have upgraded the visual quality, some say, to be more in line with modern animation. I think the new Shrek character designs are along the lines of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, more so than any other Shrek movie.
Yeah.
But what Toy Story does here is it sticks with the classic look, which I respect and admire Pixar for doing that because they could have dealt with temptation about upgrading everybody's look. And it does look cleaner 30 years later. It does look cleaner than the
Oh,
first
but
movie,
Yeah, but okay,
barely.
that's
the
like
most
But
okay,
expensive
great,
what
good for
movie.
them.
what Pixar did really well with Incredibles 2, which came 14 years after the original film, another Pixar sequel that we didn't need, and I did not enjoy Incredibles 2 nearly as much as the
No,
original film.
I still haven't seen it
Don't bother. No, see it once, then
it's
don't bother
fine.
seeing it again. It's
It
fine.
once.
it's fine. I don't think you'll like it,
I
though.
definitely,
I
knowing you,
really
Ben, I don't
don't
think you're
think
gonna
you'll
like
like
it.
it.
Um, but they took the character designs, the animation from 2004, and didn't change it, but refreshed it for 2018.
That's fine, but like if you look at what DreamWorks has been doing with their animation, they're branching out, they're evolving and changing. Pixar hasn't done
Okay,
that, arguably.
every Pixar film since probably, I want to say Coco, the characters have looked the exact same,
Yeah, they have not tried to
Yeah,
change.
but like I'm saying that that's not a good thing.
but credit where it's due. I had the teaser for Gato right before this movie
Oh yeah.
played,
Looks
and
pretty.
that visual style is different.
I'm excited for that, but that's what Pixar should be doing every time.
Yes.
That's what they used to do every single time.
That's what they did with Hoppers.
Like why do Bonnie's
Hoppers was
parents look
different.
like Riley's parents and
And
Inside
I
Out?
feel like
Like,
these
True.
things all have something in common.
yeah.
They're original. They're not sequels. I mean, that's
Like
the
you're an
problem I have.
animation studio.
Yeah.
Do something interesting and new.
You're arguably the
Yeah.
American institution of like the standard of animation.
Yeah, for like Western animation, they are the standard. They
Like
said it.
it's okay to have a similar style. I understand that. But if you're getting stale and you're if an audience look, audiences are still going to go see a Pixar movie. I get it. But
Yeah, I mean, they'll see
you
it,
know,
but
but
you should
like
be better than that. You should have the
yeah.
ambition to want to be the creative, version that you had in the past.
I- yeah. And speaking of the animation style and the character designs, Turning Red and Luca did slightly alter what they've been doing,
I have not
but
seen it.
the characters
Turning
in
Red's great.
Soul, Coco, Inside Out, even a lot of the humans in Hoppers,
Yeah.
it's all the same big eyes, slender frame, pencil neck, and bobblehead character that we've seen in all these Pixar movies over the last 10 years.
And
Back
don't
when Pixar back when Pixar was doing like I don't want to go
Cars.
all the way back to say Monsters Inc., but back to Finding Nemo, Incredibles, even so far as like Up,
yeah,
the
all right.
character designs are very, very unique animation styles
Yes.
every time.
These are
Yes.
like feeding it into like an AI and producing the similar style but different. But it still is the same thing essentially. And that's just a problem. Like
Yeah.
I know there's creative people out there. I know you can have more exciting things, but they choose, like a lot of studios, a lot of the big ones, it's a very safe attitude. Don't do
Yeah.
anything new. And if we've seen anything from the movies we just talked about, like Obsession and um Backrooms.
Backrooms.
Well, I guess we didn't talk about Obsession, but both of those I think we talked about on the Backrooms episode that these are creative ideas. They're making a lot of money and they don't cost that much. You're not just
Yep.
inflating costs because you're trying to make a better version of what you already made for cheaper in the 90s. I mean, you shouldn't do that. And frankly, I think ballooning costs like that is a bad idea, no matter what. It may look like sleeker, but also you lose something when you do that. It's the same thing in music. To seek perfection is to erase the humanity in something. I
Right.
think
And in
that
art, we're not
is,
looking for something to be clean and well put together.
yeah.
Especially for kids movies like this, right? I think like part of why we grew up with part of why we remember so fondly some of the kids movies like the Pixar movies from when we were growing up, Finding Nemo, Monsters Inc., 101 Dalmatians, like all of those kinds of films, right? They
I'm
had
so glad you brought up the hand-drawn Disney projects from mid-century.
like, are you, but that's my point. Is like we remember them for a reason, that they had a distinct style, they had a distinct vision, and they didn't shy away or sanitize the message that they're trying to send too. We've had this critique before that studios are so afraid of, pissing off parents and exposing kids to anything that might challenge them that they just wipe it all out. They take it all out for the sake of, okay, we're gonna make this totally we're going to make the most non-offensive thing possible and put it on screen. It'll make $400 million. That's great. And we'll go
But it's
about our
not going to
day.
challenge anybody.
What
No,
was the movie that won the Oscar for? I think it was for animation. Um,
I mean, Toy Story 3 won best.
this past year,
Oh,
the Latvian movie with the cat.
Flow.
Flow.
Yeah, yeah.
That
That was made
was 2 seasons ago.
for two years ago. I mean, that is the definition of what I want to look for in a movie. It's
Yeah.
creative. It was made for $5 million with a free animation software. That's what I try to drive home on a lot of these like big budget movies is this is a problem. It is a failing industry for this reason. This is not how you save it. You don't spend $250 million hoping to make probably
A
about
real thing.
$1.5 billion to break even. You know, that is the stupidest financial decision you could ever make. And they're huffing their own fumes over there in the big studios, thinking that this can work. It hasn't worked. 10 fucking years. Longer than that, maybe. And
And
they
we're already seeing the response and sort of the pendulum swing back the other way. So we're seeing the other way work.
and
So
look
there's
at
no
Obsession,
reason.
like
Yeah.
Backrooms. And again, Flow won the Oscar. It was outdoing, there's a bunch of people in Latvia using free software that are outdoing these huge studios. That should embarrass them. If I was head of that studio, I mean, I'd be happy for the other people, but I'd also be embarrassed that we're getting lapped by free software and people with, about 50 times less the budget of some of our movies.
Ben, who do you have bigger beef with, Bob Iger or David Zaslav?
They're both the same, like they're the same specimen. They have lived, they're out of touch with reality. They've lived in the 90s and the 2000s of big blockbuster movies, and they don't know how to leave. They don't get it. And there's a bunch of people on the boards that appoint these guys because they're lost in that too, or they just never were in it.
Which is crazy because if you strip away everything that we love about these kinds of movies, the artistry and everything, you just look at it from a business perspective. It doesn't even make sense
No, and that's
looking
what
at it like that.
infuriates
So
me.
it's like, what are you doing?
I
And
don't know. They're getting paid like hundreds of millions of dollars to make stupid financial decisions that somebody without a financial, training would be able to tell you that doesn't. Are you sure about
You
that?
want to spend $400 million to do what?
We want to spend what $200 million on Robert Downey Jr. and two director brothers. This is a movie with lots of CGI, right? And we're gonna get a bunch of other A-listers, okay?
he's gonna wear a mask the whole time too.
And he's gonna wear a mask for most of the time.
Or we're gonna bastardize the character and he's not gonna wear it at all.
At least he's doing the accent, right?
Who cares?
Uh,
Who fucking cares?
to bring it back to Toy Story 5 though, the just speaking of the artistry, one thing that this movie does well in terms of the swings it does take is the imagination sequences being a different visual art style. That's new. That wasn't the case in the first four movies. We get Bullseye speaking for the first time, which is really silly and is a good audience laugh moment. I don't know who does the voice. I couldn't peg it in the moment. Um, but God, that was cool to see them change it up.
It's like a teaser for what
It,
they should do.
Yeah.
Thing is like
it
they
made
showed
me,
that they can do it, and we know they can do it, which is why it's infuriating.
yeah. I mean, I think I even talked about this in the Hoppers episode. There was an art test for Hoppers that was more in the style of Studio Ghibli,
Yeah,
which would have been
Yeah.
awesome to see Pixar go in that
Come
direction.
on. Just like try it. Like I promise it'll work.
But anyway, Hayao Miyazaki
So
aside,
risk
as
averse.
as much as it pains me to put Hayao Miyazaki aside, um, I like that they tried something a little different here in a movie that was very much same same.
Yeah, but okay, I get what you're saying. I'm gonna push back on that because they did it in the
Bring
fifth
it.
movie. They did it in the fifth movie, 30 years
And
later.
and if not for very long, it's not like
Yeah. It's not even
but
like they did it for the full movie. If they did it for the full film, I'd be like, okay, all right,
are
good,
you
good for
telling
you.
me, and I'll push back on you that for that, are you telling me that the opening sequence of the third movie, going back 16 years, where we get that big imagination sequence with the train crash off the bridge and the big uh ham dropping down as the spaceship for One-Eyed Bart and the swarm of monkeys, are you telling me that that would have been better to open the movie in a different visual art style?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
oh
that they
because
decided to only give us little bits of their creativity and sort of their willingness to go outside of the box. But
If
they
we
did, and
had
they barely
had
did it in the fifth one. That they
if we
know
had
this
had
franchise is going to succeed. It's not like this is an original idea where they're
all right,
like,
so we're
"Oh
going
no, maybe we don't know what it's gonna. We know this movie is going to make a ton of
there's
money.
an
Let's
important
take big
distinction.
swings."
we're
There's an important
going into
distinction.
the fifth Shrek movie and it's a different visual art style. If we had gotten a first promotional image of Toy Story 5 and it was in that alternate art style, fans would have been up in arms
That
about
don't
this
do
isn't
Toy
my Toy
Story.
Story.
But
That's
that's the problem is that studios continue to listen to test audiences that have no creative bones in their body and don't want anything that doesn't look exactly the same as what they're used to. Like we've seen this countless times
this
from
is
big
why
industry, from big studios.
this is why
We
I
know
brought
this
up
happened on Superman 2025.
yeah.
That they took out some of the, some strong bits of the movie. This happens all the time. Studios are scared to take risks. They don't want to do anything bold or innovative.
That's why I brought up budgets is I feel like a large budget is a restrainer for a lot of people. If you have a large budget, you cannot take risks for because of fear. Because you're afraid that if you piss off half of your potential audience, you'll lose millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars in some cases. And if the budget is much smaller, you could take risks. You can do whatever you want. Because if you get at least a little bit of an audience, you'll break even. And if people fall in love with it, you'll make a ton of money. But this financial, like, idea of spending so much money on movies doesn't work anymore. It worked for a few movies, and it will still work for a few movies. Give James Cameron $200 million, he'll give you a lot of
Billion.
return. But this,
He paid for the building they were talking in. That's insane.
uh,
All
it's
right, so
he's one of a kind. There's a few people like that. That's not the norm.
true. I do want to acknowledge that. True. Um, so other than this being probably no, I won't say probably, other than this being what we will call an unnecessary sequel, we liked the little bit of the artistry of that other animation style. What else does this movie do well,
I
if
look,
anything?
I said this before, it's a Toy Story movie.
Yeah,
Like their standard is so, so high.
it
Um, these are all five of these movies are still good movies. Just the last two were unnecessary and kind of belabor the point. of what, we got out with Andy in three, like Ben said. Just
I think
leave it at that.
the scripts are always going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Like the voice actors, obviously, they get everyone. They're all the same.
I will say the guy that they brought in to replace the late great Don Rickles as Mr. Potato Head left a lot to be desired.
Oh yeah,
He only had, I think, 3 lines in the entire movie.
yeah. I kind of completely forgot.
But
So
at least they didn't like do like an
the
AI,
high
they got a
resurrection.
new actor. Like
True.
I would much rather they do that and it be
Props to them for doing
underwhelming.
that.
Yes. Bare minimum,
Really,
but
really,
okay.
the supporting cast doesn't have a whole lot to do here. I expected way more Forky and Tony Hale after the fourth movie, where he was arguably the second or third biggest character in the film. Um, he's reduced to almost nothing here. We don't get Ham, Rex, Slink, like all of our old gang. It's really just Woody, Buzz, Jesse, and Bullseye, which
Yeah,
is Toy Story's bread and butter after movies two, three, and four.
Yeah.
I liked that they went in a slightly different direction with character prioritization and making Jesse ipso facto the lead of the film, Jesse and Bullseye. I think that was kind of where they had to go after the end of the fourth movie with Woody stepping away from the rest of the gang. Um, but still, I felt like the parts of the movie I most enjoyed featured the chemistry between Tom Hanks and Tim Allen as Woody and Buzz.
yeah. And that's
Yep.
always going to be the heart. And that's the reason why, I don't know. Like a lot of this stuff, it's just characters are moving different directions. It's no longer Toy Story at a certain point. It's like it's got the bones of it. It's got, some of the charm, but it's losing itself.
And now that we're showing iPads being alive, what isn't alive in this
Oh, but
universe?
in Smarty Pants, I like Conan O'Brien, but come on, don't give me that.
A
No.
great vocal performance by Conan.
It is. Immediately recognizable. But yeah, there has to be a limit. I think they've made too many things alive. There's a certain point where it feels like in Fallout New Vegas, is a video game, Fallout New Vegas, there are quest lines about like appliances that are alive, and they're all just miserable. It's like they realize that they're alive and their whole existence is just to be a refrigerator or a microwave. At one point, I think the microwave like it kills itself
Oh,
by
Also,
just turning itself
correct.
on. I can't remember.
Speaking of the spirit of life in these movies, correct me if I'm wrong. I've only seen the fourth one once, Max. You might be able to help me a little bit on this. In the third movie, we see that Mr. Potato Head can put his arms, eyes, nose, mouth, ears into a
a
cucumber or a
tortilla.
tortilla and have and be Mr. Potato Head just in a different
Yes.
form. Why
Yes.
have we not done anything more with that idea since then?
That is a great question.
Great question.
Because that
Nobody
implies the
knows, and
existence
it's
of like
terrible.
accessories equal souls. And that
Complete,
is fascinating.
complete whiff on not including that again. I agree.
They just needed to make appliances and Smarty Pants live.
I'm
Just
glad Smarty Pants wasn't actual toilet paper.
yeah.
That was clutch.
Let's I don't know. Instead of adding new useless characters, let's do more unique things. Oh, that zooms out. Whoa.
Whoa.
This is
Ben's
crazy.
learning new things about his device in a movie that we're, or in an episode where we're talking about a movie that deals with devices. Is your webcam alive, perhaps?
Don't do this to me. Yeah, I don't know. Like I can't feel for electronics. I feel like every kid, they had toys and things like that that they're like, this is my guy. This is my friend.
And the technological toys the technological toys that we see at Blaze's house, Smarty Pants and the Atlas and
Atlas.
Snappy. Right, Snappy was the camera.
Yeah.
Those I liked those additions better than any of the toys we saw in the fourth movie outside the main group. They had some kind
Sure.
of personality and made sense for the story.
I mean, because they were a bit sad because they were
Right.
just discarded, and that's like again,
They're
that's where a
rundown
lot of the heart in
toys
Toy Story comes from.
trying to
So
find
yeah,
purpose, trying to make a child happy.
It just
Also,
but we
speaking
get
of
that we kind of get that in every Toy Story,
speaking
which
of
is fine. I mean, it's a huge part of it, but
speaking of that line, making a child happy, can we talk about the platoon of Buzz Lightyears? Or is the plural Buzz's Lightyear, like attorneys general?
Buzz Lightyears.
Okay. I just want to get the terminology straight before I talk about how great that was. Um, one of my favorite parts of
Buzz
the movie
Lightyears.
was having all of these uh, play mode Buzz Lightyears in search of Star Command. First, the movie opens with them stranded on an island, and here I am thinking, is this like
like here too.
It's
and
Lightyear 2. I walked into the wrong
I
movie.
I wasn't thinking Lightyear 2. God, I was Lightyear, another example of that recent Pixar animation style.
Bad movie.
Anyway, I was thinking, is this like Toy Story 3 or Toy Story 1 or 2, where we're opening with now Bonnie imagining this story of Buzz waking up on a deserted island? And then no, it was this
No, but
entire
then we got it
B plot.
after.
It was a B plot for the entire first half of the movie where we'd check in with these buzzes every 15 to 20 minutes. And it would be the funniest part of the movie to that point because it's Tim Allen just shouting back and forth at himself. And then they meet up with the rest of the gang and they're integral to the rest of the movie. But I don't know. It was just that felt like Toy Story 2. That felt like,
Well, it is like Toy Story 2, right? Because
yeah.
there's a Buzz in Toy Story
But
2.
in Toy Story 2, we only get a lot of extended run with just one other Buzz.
Yeah. Well, he's doesn't he? Or maybe that's one. I can't
Oh
remember.
shit, I said play mode. I meant demo mode. That's my bad, guys. Um, but still, in this movie, we get what was the count? 50 Buzz Lightyears,
Yeah.
and they're drones now. That's sick.
New
That's
Gen.
really cool to see them do that with a joke from 25 years ago.
Yeah.
That's a way to make things refreshed and still very funny.
The issue is that it's just not refreshed enough for me. I mean, it's just recycled more than anything else.
That's fair. Recycled is probably a better word than refreshed anyway.
Because they're not really doing anything new. It's the same thing over and over and over, just in different variations.
Also, we knew, and that's what makes like the prospector in the second movie or Lotso the bear in the third movie.
I
What
think
makes them so great is that they are irredeemable and get their comeuppance in the end. But what we get here is what we get with a lot of kids' movies lately, or family movies lately, is the villain of the story, Lily Pad here, Benny Pad for our cases, uh, has this moral dilemma redemption arc and joins the gang with zero repercussion at the end of the movie. And
yeah,
movies don't always need to end like that.
no. And I think Lots of the Bear is fantastic because he is
Such a great villain.
really not irredeemable. He himself refuses to redeem himself. Like
Yeah,
he refuses to accept that he can change.
he passes on the redemption arc better than anyone except maybe the Deep.
Oh, but yeah, I think it's such a strong movie for me, and what I think they really should have ended on. When they first like announced it, I was like, wow. After all this time, is that going to be a mistake? But it fit with the movie.
Mhm.
I think those are okay sequels when it directly ties in the time, directly ties in, and there's a reason for it. And we're all moving on. The people that grew up on Toy Story are moving on.
Yeah.
Well, it's but 4 and 5 are just like we could do another movie, can't we? And that's not a good enough reason because of how much heart and how much creativity were in those original ones and even the third one. And Lots of the Bear is a great example of that, like villain that he's sad. Like you understand how he got there, and that's part of the plot. But with
But
the
he's a villain in the truest sense of the word because he is an antagonist, but not a tragic hero.
Yep.
yeah,
Lilypad is like a villain of the week kind
Really
of opponent for the toys.
bad. Villain of the week.
that is a good description.
Yeah.
So, Toy Story 5, it's Pixar, it's Toy Story, it's the same voice cast you've known for the last 31 years,
If you got
minus
kids,
a couple of tragic, dearly departed, wonderfully talented voice actors.
Mhm.
Um, but all that to say, if you like Toy Story, if you like these toys, if you like these movies, if you like Pixar and animation, go check it out in the theater. Enjoy it. Find something fun about it. Bring the family.
I I do want to leave you with this party message. I'm teaching a bunch of kids guitar right now, and I asked them. They said one of them said they saw Toy Story 5, and I asked them what they thought, and the other kids had also seen it, and they were all like, so that's not exactly what you want to see from a Pixar movie.
Mhm.
It's for us. That's the problem. This movie is not for the kids. They made it for us, and we
Yeah.
don't, or we're like, you know,
Okay.
it's not like,
Okay.
but it's not.
It was a way for me to fill a Friday night. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
Yeah. A lot of our affection is from the past four, three,
If you
four
want to
films.
if you want a Toy Story fix, go on Disney Plus and
Yeah.
watch
Just
the
watch.
first three.
Yeah.
But if you want something new with these characters, go see it in a theater.
Yeah.
Worth the price of admission to see in a theater.
Yeah.
Plus, it's animated, and there's that new art style we were talking about. Worth seeing on a big screen. I digress. Toy Story 5 currently playing in movie theaters. Next week, we are actually double dipping. We will talk about two superhero projects. Ben mentioned it earlier, but we are talking about Supergirl, the movie that made its debut today as this movie, or as this episode drops. Supergirl is also in theaters. So join us next Friday for that. We're also talking about Spider Noir, which is currently streaming on Amazon Prime Video. So you can watch it, catch up, and join us for the conversation next week. In the meantime, Max, I'm going to remember every part of it this time. Watch some good movies, support your local movie theater, and ban AI in filmmaking. We will see you for Supergirl and Spider Noir next week. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Good night.